your ears. Right here.
Pumpkin took them.
It's time that you pay more attention. Here. Put them on.
Took them.
Pumpkin didn't take them. Shay left them. Did you hear that? Pumpkin took it. Here I am plowing out the backside. I'm just using regular saw blades. I have 2 of them in the machine, separated with a washer, and my final cut will be made with my stacked dado head. I don't use it to rough out. It's too expensive. This is, well, it's a process I've never seen anybody else use before. So you can see there, you can still see little bits of epoxy. We got to go a little deeper. It's a process I've never seen anybody else use before. I consider it one of my few original ideas. If you're curious on how it works, I've got some videos up. How to turn a bowl on a table saw, or turn a big platter. But it takes a few passes to get through this because you can't, you only have the depth of the teeth, so you can't go too far. Now here I flip the piece over and I'm cutting a bubble on the outside bottom edge just to give it a little more class. It's a simple decorative piece. I suppose it does, again, lighten the top, but not appreciably so. And then after nipping around, I spin it into the saw blade a few times and I get a good finish. You gotta be careful with burning on this. First, I layer epoxy in on top of cracks that I know exist, just to give it a chance to suck up a little bit extra. This is 2-part epoxy from Aero Marine. I pick it up in I think the 2-gallon size. It seems to keep okay on my shelves. Now I'll start brushing it out. On the brush out, I use a disposable bristle brush, and then I typically trim about 3/8 of an inch of the bristles off, and then fan it really hard with my fingers to try to knock all the loose ones out. You always have a few though. Here comes the fun part, and or messy part. The reason I do this, I'm not going to use epoxy as my final top coat. It doesn't work very well as a final top coat. It yellows too much. Instead, I'm going to use floor grade polyurethane, which is real tough. But rubbing the epoxy on like that means that it gets down inside all the pores. Instead of 25 coats of polyurethane, which doesn't have a lot of strengthening properties, in order to fill the little cracks and voids, I'll have 3 coats of polyurethane, and the epoxy will be in the cracks and the voids. It turns the entire tabletop into a block of, well, plastic, which does a great job cutting down seasonal wood movement in places like Montana, where the humidity can vary so tremendously. Repeat the same procedure on the top side. Cutting it this deep exposes a few more checks, and I just try to go after those and give them time to work in. After that, I start to brush on, and you can look at my video of hand wipe epoxy, and there's a fine line between rushing the epoxy and waiting too long. And it's better to rush it, because if you wait too long to wipe it off, you can kind of probably imagine. So now I'm going to just scrub the top of this thing off, just like you saw before, and when I'm all done, I'll let it harden up, and then it'll get its coats of polyurethane. Yeah, just not as big a fan as I thought. The top is so organic, and then that column figure is disproportionately too large. I was going for it to just kind of be like that. No feet, no nothing. Here we are the next day. I went to go get my spray gun, and it wasn't in
the finish refrigerator like you're supposed to be. And then I saw it on the floor and I thought, oh dear. And then I picked it up and it was heavy. And I thought, oh crap. Yeah. It had polyurethane in it from about 3 months ago. So, yeah, I spent most of last night cleaning it. But I think we're ready to give her another try. Judging from how it's spraying, we weren't ready for another try.
To mount the top, I drilled a set of pocket screws in here, and we're just going to screw it solid to the table. It's going to be a little awkward getting down in there, but it'll be okay.
In the end, I was pleased. I've had other projects that I like more, but I have been waiting a long time to try to build one of these, octagon barrels, and so that was fun to learn how to do. And the pocket screws worked excellent to hold the top on. Overall, I'm pleased. I kind of found out about the auction late, so I didn't have much time, but I think it turned out okay. I hope that the softball girls were able to get something out of it so they can slug her up again following year. To some respect, I think the top saves it. That beautiful slab of in-cut burl. And the blue glass in the epoxy has always fascinated people. I like the tool marks and the way, look at that figure ripple across the face of that slab. Oh, I'm so excited. I got a whole stack of that stuff drying. And I don't know what I'll build with a bunch of the rest of it, but this was I think a worthy shot. I hope you enjoyed watching it, all 3 videos, and maybe you learned something. I know I sure did. And yeah, thank you very much from all of us. Happy woodworking.